Alright, guys. Yeah, so let's do some AP Chem MCQs. Guess there's like 50 questions. Let's just chillax and let's just go through it. So the following will S be negative. So obviously, S being negative just means that it's losing entropy. So obviously that's this. That's pretty self-explanatory. So which was the greatest electrical conductivity and why? So just look at them. Why not this one? Why not this one? So it's probably Ki. Just put that in. These gases are allowed to reach the following after additional iodine gas. So the rate of the forward reaction will increase. Boom. Some unknown element. So just look at it. There's a big jump between third and fourth, so it's probably something with 3 electrons to lose. So Al seems right. So some particle in an aqueous solution. We just look at it. H plus ions, probably a negative. So they got a mixture of hexane and octane, which are miscible in all proportions. They're mixable. So if you want to separate, how do you do it? Well, I mean they have pretty different boiling points, so distillation would probably work. This seems like BS. This seems like BS. This seems like BS too. So the equilibrium constant. So the question is, if you just basically reverse the reaction, multiply by two, opposite the equilibrium constant. So if you reverse the reaction, oh shoot. Okay, so if you multiply everything by two, that's equivalent to squaring everything. So you have to square it after a bit, after you do some operations to it. So it's probably this one, and I'm not going to elaborate on why. I mean, I think that's just like self-explanatory. Catalyze a biochemical reaction in an enzyme typically. So, I mean, it probably just like lowers activation energy. Boom. So far, not too bad, not too shabby. Put that. Standard reduction potentials are given. Net ionic. So you probably want to reverse this little guy, and you probably want to multiply this guy by two. Probably just 2Ag plus Zn2 plus. Uh, sorry, plus Zn. Sorry. You reverse this little guy. It's gonna equal Zn2 plus 2H. It's just the right answer. So just by reversing this, so it's probably like I've never been the best at math, but it's probably 1.56. What mass of LiOH needed to react with all the so so 880 grams. So then that means that that's basically um how many moles is that? Well, that's probably like 20 moles. So you probably need 40 moles of this. So okay, so you know you need 40 moles. So 40 moles times 24 moles is probably like 960 moles. Which of the following rate laws is consistent with the data? This is a good question. I mean, this is very, very interesting. Very interesting question. So let's think about it. So it becomes linear now. So It's probably this one. So, I mean, I see no reason not to pick that. So, helium has more energy because, I mean, obviously helium has electron. So it's probably this. This is this is true, but doesn't explain why the energy would be higher. Okay, cool. Let's do this question. So, which of the following is molecular formula of this unknown compound? So, I guess we're just supposed to kind of just use like logical reasoning. But I don't really want to do that. So let's just like kind of try to think this through. Is there any way we can do this without doing any of the hard work that you actually have to do this problem? Okay, let's just try it this way. Let's just multiply this equation over here by 2. Actually, no. I don't know. Shoot. This is actually a little bit difficult, especially if without a paper, I think. I don't know actually. How would you do this? Oh, what? Oh shit, actually, how would you do this? This is very vexing. Actually, this is very, very vexing. So you know that it's a hydrocarbon. So you know probably has hydrogen carbon. So I'm just gonna guess this answer and we'll move on. We need to come back and review that. So why are these exothermic? So obvious it's this. Pretty interesting. So okay, I think it's maybe propanol. 30 grams of ethane, 30 grams of propanol are placed in separate reactant vessels. Each is a combustion reaction. So obviously the quantity of heat of propanol is going to be A sealed 10-liter flask contains equal molar amounts. It's equal, same temperature. I don't think all endothermic processes are thermodynamically favorable. Because my reasoning is this. So if you had enough like entropy, could you could like sort of counteract that fact. So let's just say it's this. Basically, you're just saying there's a buffer solution, and you're like, what happens if I add a thing to a buffer? Okay, let's split this. Feels right. Shout out to my sister. But anyway, going back to this problem. So these guys react. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 should be 4. We'll unreact to those. Makes sense. So I think I'm pretty sure it's 1 over 56. So. Okay, mixture of two gases is pumped into a cylinder with a movable piston, and the mixture is sparked and the reaction represented below occurs. So Which of the following is true after the product gases return to the original temperature and pressure, and why will the change occur? So obviously, when addressing this problem, uh, so obviously there's a piston press and spark and reaction occurs. So obviously the piston will be higher. So obviously, there's a lot to there's a lot to look at in this problem. So you have haloacetic acids, where X is either FClBrI, as are shown above, and the dissociation constants and molar masses of these four haloacetic acids are listed in the table below. So the structure of haloacetic acids, so so haloacetic acids, huh? So lower boiling point. Right. So this is just the one with the lowest fluoristatic acid. Wait, it's not just fluoristatic acid? Thought it'd be this, but I guess the lower boiling point means it has the weakest bonding, right? Because if it has a really strong bonding, it'd have a high boiling point. So take a lot of energy. So I think it's fluoristatic acid, but it could be fluoristatic acid, and I don't understand why that's not an option. But I guess this is probably of the options. This is perhaps the best one. So I guess that's what we'll be picking. So the aqueous solution contains small but equal concentrations of chlorostatic and fluorostatic acid. Oh, a higher Ka means more acid. So I would suspect that iodicyclic acid. I suspect chloroacetic acid is greater. That would be what I would expect on first glance. I might be wrong. Um, could very well be a little bit different. Um, Especially with regards to some of the stuff. could be a little bit different. Let's go to the next one. So, okay, guys, I think I've learned a lot from this MCQ so far. I'm just gonna chill for the rest of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched.